Dude, I've gotten in and on the dock like a pro, but how the Donald Duck do I get out again? Reverse? Sadly not, driver. The service road's got a tight corner, ringed with vents, pipes, and random ironwork. Even if I could skillfully avoid hitting all that stuff, I'd still be reversing onto a busy southwest London high street. It's off the scale risky, so I've got to get spun around in the yard. Let's look at the options. Is it fair to say that there's 3 possible starting directions off the dock? C's a medium tight swing to the right, B's a gentle right to left towards the opposite wall, and A's a S-shaped swing at the corner to set up for a reverse. One of these options is just flat out wrong. Out of the remaining 2, one is the accepted right way, but the other is a bit of a trick question type situation. That's because just the slimmest of steering inputs is the difference between successfully exiting and mashing the trailer into something steel and yellowy on the outside with a tasty concrete core. The way it's drawn here is really close to, but is not a way out, and would definitely cause a bump.
Bimp?
What?
You said bimp.
Yes, I know that.
Yes, a bump. Please, do the channel a favour and have a guess of what's the recommended low-risk route off the bay. Stick your answer A, B or C in the comments. B is a gentle curve right to left. Maybe you're thinking to just spin on the spot and then just simply drive out. A is a S shape into the corner to tee up a reverse. C is a swing to the right, where maybe you'd then possibly blindside reverse into corner A. Remember, one's a curveball and needs a slight modification, so the bollard guarding the staff exit next to the trailer doesn't get twatted. Had a guess yet? Using yard space properly was a struggle when I first progressed onto Arctics. Shaking the rigid driver mindset was tricky AF after so many years of driving 18-tonners. Pulling into the corner and setting up a 3-point-ish turn is a classic rigid driver manoeuvre. So I might possibly be able to spin a rigid using this method, but the far boundary wall is just too close. Maybe if it's, 7 or 8 metres further back, an angle could be put on the trailer. With such a shallow angle, all that's ever going to happen is a very frustrating game of ping pong. So, for that reason, option A, the S-shaped swing from dock into the corner is no bueno. But the next scenario, option B, the right to left curved pull-off is more nuanced, kinda right, but also kinda very wrong. Halfway through the turn, and it looks good, doesn't it? A bit scary to have so much angle on the trailer with the cab pointing at the wall. But surely, as long as I'm careful, I can just drive on straight out. Yes? No? The devil's in the detail, ladies and gentlemen. And sorry, but this was the curveball option. It all comes down to the amount of arc when pulling away from the bay. Please come back in time 20 seconds to earlier in the move. The ancient drivers of years past assure me that it's possible to turn anti-clockwise off the dock drama-free and then just drive out. The issue is, and the reason option B is wrong, is that drivers were tempted to swing too far to the right before turning left. Spotted the problem? That steel bollard's role is to protect the blissfully unaware, non-steel armoured civilians who might use the staff exit whilst the truck's manoeuvring. And with that much angle between tractor and trailer, the back's gonna swing and the paperwork's need filling. And I know what you're thinking. I've suggested exactly the same thing. Just bin the problem steel post and adjust the store staff dress code accordingly. Why do these big companies never spot the simple fixes? Ahem. Anyway, here it is. Option C. Driving forward out the yard after pulling of the dock with a wide right-handed swing. I'll share a secret about my first time. Here, just don't tell my colleagues, please. OK, I was a little overwhelmed by how close the unsighted back of the wagon was going to get to the garden walls. If you didn't know, in a game of rock, paper, scissors, truck, the truck wins nearly every time, especially the back with a chunky steel bar or two running across its back. So, while the truck was still on the bay, I paced out its length, then paced the distance from the walls to various cracks in yard surface, drain covers, etc. That way, I knew that if the front wheel hadn't crossed the crack, the trailer was still, whatever, a metre or two from the wall. Anyway, that's just between me and you. Because this time wasn't one of my best efforts, with the trailer a long way from the yard's corner. I just need to make sure it doesn't cut in and swipe the corner of the store. This was great fun to make, but took so much longer than expected. You know, that you know, what I'm going to say in this bit. Well, have you? OK, please have a great day. And like, comment and share. Also try watching this one next. Bye bye.